to another episode of the Life in General podcast. My name is Nick.
And I'm Ian.
Well, I will say that I know it's been a while since we've done this. It's been
at least a month.
It's
a
been
month and a half.
Probably since I think like the beginning of January, I think. Right?
No, December 26th was the last time we recorded.
So, yeah, the beginning would have been
for the release, release
in
time.
the beginning of January. So, the beginning of January would have been it was the 9-year anniversary
of
the podcast. So,
That's a long time.
That is a very long time for doing the podcast. Now, granted, we've gone off and done other things.
Yeah.
But, I guess this is available on like YouTube and like all the podcast apps and all that kind of stuff. So again, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you do the whole thumbs up and all that fun kind of YouTube-y stuff. But
or we'll come to your house and break your thumbs.
It's been quite the. I will say that in this version or this iteration of the Life in General podcast, it's been quite the adventure, I would say, or quite the journey over the last year as far as like technology and like
you're trying to get it set up the way we kind of want it, without having to spend 10 hours setting it up.
Yeah, because that's been like the biggest challenge is just trying to figure out. Because, for the longest time we did like just a traditional podcast where it was just audio. Right. And then we would just post the audio on YouTube. But that was like, literally 2 people or 3 people might watch it. So it was like, really wasn't worth the effort to put it on YouTube.
And I would imagine they did that by accident.
Probably. I never even went on there to look to see how long like anyone watched it or anything like that. But as far as like audio only podcasts go,
there aren't a lot of them around.
There is.
Well, I mean, in terms of like YouTube and there are, but it's the big corporations that are doing them now.
Yeah.
All the news organizations, every anchor has their own podcast, and celebrities are doing their own podcast. No one's going to listen to schlubs like us once that happens.
Unless you already have like an established. If you already have like an established following or some kind of huge social media presence, that's different. Like you can have like an audio only podcast, but if you don't, then
no one's listening.
No one's. You're not gonna
unless you're old like me and you just listen to the same ones you've been listening to for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And even those have fallen off on a lot of them.
Yeah. And I will say when we first started Life in General back in January of 2017. I mean, we did have some traction early on. I mean, we were never doing like huge numbers, but we had several episodes that had, at least several hundred listens, which is I think really good for, the size of podcast it was. Just 2, jackasses sitting in a basement talking about politics. Basically, was mostly what we talked about.
Mostly, especially those early days.
Yeah. Because we started the podcast in the very beginning of the first Trump presidency. But
actually, it was right before his inauguration, if memory serves.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because it was January 7th was the first episode of the show. So,
And if only we could go back and tell our younger selves what the world would be like in 9 years.
Yeah, I will say that I remember, I think the first episode, or one of the very first episodes of the podcast, I vividly remember us having a conversation where I said, I will raise my hand and admit to saying this, that I said I was at least open to seeing what the Trump presidency would bring and, at least be hopeful that he would at least not burn the country down.
Yeah.
God, I was fucking wrong.
Well, not only that, I think I even told you, I said, nobody knows what's going to happen, but my optimism was like
nothing.
Yeah, I was telling him it's not going to happen. However, I will say it's worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Thinking back, I honestly did not think it would be quite as bad as it is now.
Yeah. I think the first term was about what I thought it would be, which was
because no one could have predicted COVID either.
Yeah. It was a pretty mixed bag. I think there was some really bad shit that happened in the first term, and then there was a lot of stuff that wasn't
as bad
or could have been, I think, even worse than what it was.
I feel like it was what it would have normally happened with any Republican president in 4 years, slightly amplified.
Yeah.
With the tax cuts and everything else. Amplified in the sense that, the tax cuts were worse. The The blatant racism was worse. That kind of stuff. But
worse than what it is now? Or
no, worse than what a normal Republican would have been.
I was going to say, wait,
no,
what?
No, it's gotten worse than that even.
All right.
No, what I'm saying is like what you would expect from a Republican presidency.
Like a typical, say like
2017
a McCain,
to 2020, yeah.
A McCain presidency or something like that.
Well, it was just amplified.
Yeah.
And then you throw COVID into it and it even was worse. But yeah, now Trump 2.0, it's, yeah. It makes Trump 1 seem almost middle ground.
Yeah. I think the big issue or the big difference between the first term and the second term is that I think in the first term, Trump still had people around him that were still like a lot of those.
They weren't yes men.
Well,
they were, but they'd say, yeah, you can't do that.
Well, I think there were still a lot of those, or he had a lot of the traditional Republican. He had some of those in his cabinet and around him still. A lot of, they're all gone now. Now it's just like Fox News Sunday hosts that are running his cabinet, and there is no one to stop him now.
No.
In his first term, there were people that are saying, "Hey, Mr. President, it's probably not a good idea to send troops through the cities."
Right.
And now that's not. I mean, it's open. It's do whatever you want now.
Yeah, and I can't figure out what the end game is because, I mean, aside from him declaring martial law and just making himself king, which I know he wants to do, I don't think he'll live long enough beyond the 4 years. But
I don't know. I don't think he'll be alive. I don't think he'll be alive at the end of his term.
Possibly not.
And I'm not saying that because I think someone's going to do something.
No,
I think
he's
natural.
doing it to himself.
I think like natural causes is going to do something to him, but Father Time is going to do something to him.
Right. I feel like I don't know how, like I said, I don't know what his end game is. I think he's literally just there to grab as much money from us, from the country as he can, and then he's going to go away.
Yeah.
If he does live long enough, he's going to just go away. So
I don't think he's ever just going to go away.
Where's the authoritarianism coming from? Is it coming from him, or is he just like, yeah, do whatever you want? Because if it's not coming from him, then it's even worse because that means it's coming from J.D. Vance, it's coming from
it's coming from Stephen Miller.
Yes. And they're not going anywhere.
No.
So Trump is not really the enemy. I mean, he is. He absolutely is, because he's created this environment where these other people can thrive. But when he's done, he's just gonna walk away. He's gonna take the money and run. Yeah. And I feel like the ones left behind are gonna be even worse. Because they're the ones who want to change everything.
Yeah. I think Trump is a president where he just doesn't care. His end game is getting as much power and as much money as he can.
Right.
To the hell with everything else. He just doesn't fucking care.
Right.
He's all about power, money, and vengeance. That's all he fucking cares about.
Yeah, and then appearance. It's
optics.
Optics, yeah. But to me, Trump is evil. He's a piece of shit. He's garbage. But he's not the real problem. In the end, he's allowed the problem to grow, but he's not the problem. Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, and Pete Hegseth, I think, are the three worst people we got to look out for.
Well, I'm not even sure Pete Hegseth is.
He is, because he's got way too much military control.
Well, look, here's the thing. Like, I think once the Trump reign is over, I think all those people are going to be so damn toxic.
I hope.
I don't think any of them are going to have anything to do with politics moving forward, honestly.
Oh, they will. They'll just be back behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, but I don't, unless something happens to where there's not an election in either November or in 2028, I don't see how any of these people stay in power.
Those are distinct possibilities.
Unless there's some kind of way for them to rig the election again, because I'll get to that here in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't see how any of them or anyone in this party stays in power. I don't see how any of them are even able to run for president. With as toxic as they even are within the GOP.
Perhaps not. But see, they've learned their lesson. They don't need to run.
Have they?
Well, no, they don't have to run. All they need to do is run somebody who can win, that they can control.
I'm not even sure if they can win. Like, And that's the one thing we've seen over the last, couple months in all these like special elections. There was now granted it was in Minnesota where these ICE raids have really intensified over the last couple of months. And it happened in a district that Kamala Harris won by, I think, 70% in the last election.
Republican has won in Minnesota.
But here's the thing. Kamala Harris won this district by 70%. I think it was a state house district that just had an election within the last couple of weeks. Kamala Harris won the district by 70% in the last election. The Democrat that won by 93 fucking percent.
Okay. That's one district in one state.
But you're also having Democrats win in Texas. You're having Democrats win in Georgia. You're having Democrats win in districts that they haven't won in decades.
Okay.
In positions that they haven't won in decades.
Democrats still find a way to lose. They sabotage themselves.
And here's the thing, and that's the thing I keep having to remind myself is when it comes to politics, Americans' memories are very fucking short, and what's going on right now might not fucking matter come November.
Right.
And come the election. A lot of people might not fucking care. But what the Republicans are doing right now and what they've done the last couple of months are absolutely fucking hurting them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even Trump's approval rating has dropped.
Yeah.
Which says a lot. I mean, it's dropped below what it has always been steady at, like 38, 39%. It's like, what, 36?
36.
Yeah. So
it's at a historic low even for Trump.
Right. So, but I think that has more to do with Epstein, the Epstein files, and the shootings.
Yeah.
Or just the the jackbooted Gestapo that they've been throwing out there.
Yeah.
All they need to do is pull back on that.
Which they're not going to. They're not going to. See, here's the thing: is Trump tried to do this in his first term.
Yeah.
Trump wanted to send the military. Was it Buffalo? I think it was. He wanted to send the troops into one of the cities in the U.S. I don't remember what state it was and what city it was.
It was blue for whatever point.
And there are people within his circle that stopped him from doing it. He doesn't have those people now.
Right. Well, that's why it's happening now.
And that's why it's happening.
I think he might be overestimating the Democrats' ability to not fuck it up.
But it's not just that though. You have there's a lot of Republicans that are absolutely fed up with this also.
Right. They're still going to vote Republican. They always do.
We'll see. Because right now a lot of those people are saying that they either won't or they're not going to vote.
They'll find some Republican they can stomach and they vote for them.
We'll see. And that's why I said, memories are very short when it comes to elections. We'll see if this is going to affect the election come November.
It's more important. They're not more important because it sucks, but that it has to come to this. I feel like the Democrats, their best bet is that the Republicans just don't show up.
Yeah.
That's their best bet. Because I think if Republicans showed up, Democrats don't show up. They showed up for Obama.
Well, they showed up in the first midterm election in the first Trump presidency.
That's right. That was kind of the last time. They kind of showed up for Biden, but Trump wasn't going to win that election, I don't think, regardless. But they did show up. But they don't show up typically.
So here's the thing.
They definitely didn't show up for Kamala, even knowing full well what this all was going to be.
Hold on. Let me put my tinfoil hat on for a second.
Okay.
That's going to make me sound really crazy.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this a lot over the last several days. As much as we joke about Republicans talking about the 2020 election being rigged, I'm actually starting to really believe that not only was the 2016 election rigged, I think the 2024 election was rigged also. And I think Trump's response to the 2020 election is proof of 2016 and 2024 both being rigged. And this is why. For the history of my lifetime, polls have been pretty accurate-ish.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
The only exception to that has been the 3 elections that Donald Trump has been in. Even elections outside of the three U.S. presidential elections, most other elections, polls have been pretty close-ish, historically close.
Okay.
If you look back at, a lot of all the other elections over the last, 50 years, polls have been close enough. And then the 2016 election, they were completely fucking wrong for the first time ever, right?
Oh.
So I think it's likely. Obviously, there's no real fucking proof of this, but I think it's likely that the 2016 election was rigged and votes were changed to change the election and slant Trump and make Trump the winner.
Because they wouldn't have had to steal that many votes. He just because he didn't win the popular vote.
Correct.
So
he would have had to just steal enough to win the election.
Yeah.
Because Trump himself was fucking surprised he won the election.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know.
That's the way he acted, right? And that's the way a lot of people around him even acted, right? That they were surprised that he won the election, right? Because all the polls said he was going to lose. It was going to be a close election, but he was going to lose. Mm-hmm. All the polls said that. And then enough votes, went his way late that he won the election. I think there is something that happened somewhere. Votes got changed, right? And then 2020 happened. And mail-in ballots thwarted their effort because they weren't able to change those fucking votes. And that's why Trump railed so fucking hard and has ever since then against mail-in voting because they weren't able to change those. And that's why votes were so high in 2020. And that's why Joe Biden got so many fucking votes in that election, right? And then 2024 happens, and it kind of reverted back to 2016. A lot of the numbers went back to there. There's a lot of fucking data that shows, like, you can see voting where Kamala Harris had X amount of votes, and then 40 minutes later, she had fewer votes than she did the vote total before. Like, numbers, like, I'm not saying that there was concrete evidence that things were changed, but there's a lot of suggestion that there were vote totals that were changed in 2024.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I need to see proof before I would even.
That's why I said I had to put my tinfoil hat.
But I will point out that the polls in 2016 where it was the first time they were wrong, but it was also the first time we've dealt with the dynamics of that type of an election. You had the first, it wasn't the first, but it was the first woman to get the nomination. Mm-hmm. So that skews the dynamics because you're going to get men who are going to say one thing and do another. And women, same thing, and polls. But you also had people who were asked about Trump, said they wouldn't vote for him, and did. Or at least on the surface did, that we see.
Enough to skew data that
I mean,
I don't think there's enough to skew data to historical levels.
You never know. I mean, it's only historic until it happens. Once it's happened, then yes, it was historic, but doesn't mean it can't happen again.
But it's weird. It's weird that if you look at polls from the 2016 election, like polls in the elections in Michigan weren't as far off as the presidential election that year.
Yeah.
It's just the 3 elections that Trump was in. Those polls were very far off.
Right.
Right? I don't know. It just raises questions.
Well, of course. I mean, there's no reason not to question it, but the problem is that the water's muddied there now. Because you can't, even if you've got proof, you can't go and say, well, Trump stole these elections.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because,
for sure.
They'll just say, well, yeah, you're saying that because, we said you stole ours, so now you got to say we stole yours.
Of course. Of course.
So, which is, part of Trump's genius, Basically, anything he's accusing other people of doing, he's done.
He's doing, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point.
Well, it does. It does if you are afraid of them possibly stealing the election in...
I'm not afraid. I know.
In 2028.
We know they're going to steal it. He has put so many people in positions to just throw ballots away, and it can be done in such a subtle way.
It's not even subtle. I think the whole thing that they're doing with ICE, the whole thing that they're doing in Minnesota had everything to do with the election.
Part of it. That's like a step in it. You've got to, first of all, make it so that people are afraid to go to polls. So you minimize the voting. That's step one. Then you put people in positions of authority where the ballots are going to be counted, where the ballots are going to be stored. Who can go? That one looks that's a Democrat one. We'll just toss that out. It's staged. It's not just one thing.
But it's this simple though. One of the main objectives in Minnesota was to get the voting rolls. Mm-hmm. Right.
They still haven't gotten. I hope.
This whole thing is all this is what they want to do is if the election isn't going their way in November, all they're going to do is say, and they've proven this when they went into and served the warrants in Atlanta and took all the fucking votes from 2020. Mm-hmm. All they're going to do is say, oh, it was an illegal, there was fraud. We're going to go in and take all the votes from the election.
Yeah.
Like as they're counting them. And they're going to round them all up and take them to Washington. And then who the fuck is going to oversee them counting the votes?
Right. Well, he said he wants to nationalize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which you can't do that because there's this little thing called the Constitution.
And that stopped him for so many other things.
I know that. Yeah. The Constitution, and that's the one thing that I think people really need to realize is the Constitution does not exist if there's not courts and the Supreme Court willing to hold the
powerful accountable.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, the presidency. The president in particular.
Yeah. Well, he owns all the courts.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter. I mean, what difference does it make if the people in charge of watching over him aren't watching over him?
Yeah.
Because they're they're friendly to him. What difference does it make? They just say it's legal.
Yeah.
That's how you get Supreme Court justices, people who've literally spent their whole life studying law, saying, "Yeah, the president's above the law," knowing full well that is not true.
Yeah.
That the president does not have immunity, but they say he does.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I will say that the Supreme Court has not. They definitely ruled against Trump.
On some
things, not nearly as often as they should.
They're just doing that. They're like, well, we gotta throw a few
bones your way,
yeah, just to make it look like we're not completely in his fucking pocket. Yeah. But yeah, no, if Trump wants to, he's already in a position where he just get rid of everything. Just I'm king. He can do it. There'll be war. It'll suck, but he can do it now.
Yeah.
He's moved the pendulum that far to the point where it doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
The only thing that's holding him back, I think, is he knows that if it does come to that, he won't be able to grift us as much because he's gonna have to, there's gonna have to be money to fight the fucking Civil War.
Well, he's already suing the government for $10 billion as it is anyway. So
in the government he fucking is the head of.
Yes.
How is that? How can people see that and go, oh, that's okay?
No,
I don't understand.
I know that.
How fucking stupid are we as people?
You don't need to ask that question, do you?
I do, to a degree. No, they're stupid.
He's president in the first place.
They're stupid, and then there's Idiocracy stupid. And then there might even be a point after that. I think we might already
we need to stop comparing the situation we're currently in, to the movie Idiocracy.
Why? Have you watched it?
Yes.
It was exactly the same fucking thing, just funnier.
But the problem is, in Idiocracy, they were at least trying to lean on smart people to help fix the problems. We're not fucking doing that.
Yeah, the smart people who thought they should put the energy drinks because there's electrolytes into their farm, that's the smart people.
No.
We're just not to the point where that level of stupid is in charge. We've gone past Idiocracy,
Ian. We're far past that.
We very well could be. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, people still believe crystals help things, So is that any different than the electrolyte thing? And Crocs. Crocs came from that fucking movie.
I know that. Well, it didn't come from the movie.
No, but I mean, nobody was buying them before that movie.
They selected Crocs for the movie because they wanted to find the most ridiculous thing that they thought no one would ever fucking wear.
Yeah.
And Crocs were like almost a brand new company at that time. I know that.
Yeah.
I know the whole history behind it, but
my point is,
I still call them homeless people shoes. They're like, I'm like, you're wearing fucking rubber shoes.
Right.
It's the most ridiculous thing. I know.
And you can dazzle them all you want.
I do have a pair that I cut grass in just because I could fucking wash them off. But
I know I have old shoes that I wear because I'm a grown adult. I go out in shoes.
I know. I still laugh at people when they wear them work. I'm like,
I know.
on.
I do too.
I'm like,
I give people a hard time all the time.
Yeah.
I've probably lost people who've considered me a friendly coworker because of it. Like, hey, Ian's pretty cool. I got hanging out with him or chatting with him at work. Now they're like, no.
I learned a long time ago. You can pretty much say whatever you want to somebody within reason. I should say now that I guess I should preface that by saying outside of really racist shit like what Trump would do, but for the most part you can say really whatever you want to somebody just as long as you have a smile on your face when you're saying it. But I feel like you can joke with people. I joke with people all the time.
With people, but you know me. I can get a little excitable about certain things that I really feel passionate about. And
no, not you, Ian.
Yeah, I know. No. So I'm sure I've said some things that have been yeah, I'm not gonna hang out or I'm not gonna talk to him anymore at work. It's just simple hello and then move on, which is fine. I don't care.
That's funny.
It's Crocs are they're up there with that.
Yeah,
those things I don't fucking get it at all.
Yeah, neither have I. I mean, I always thought there was, but like I said, that's why they were picked for that movie.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just. We're not there. I mean, the Idiocracy is exaggerated and everything else. You would think at some point people would... Because if it was a Democrat doing it, these people would be up in arms about it.
Oh, absolutely.
The same people who were letting... there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. But if a Democrat did it... So is it really stupidity or is it just tribalism at that point?
Oh,
it's definitely blown tribalism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's just two sides of this country. There's left and right. That's it. If the left does it, it's bad. If the right does it, it's good, and vice versa. I feel like the left isn't that.
We're not. I don't think the left. There's definitely a lot of tribalism on the left. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we're as stuck to it as the right is, though.
Right.
Because I remember during the Obama presidency, the left was calling Obama out on a lot of shit.
Right.
As
they should.
Where the right, they can't even call. Trump out on
racism
or
blatant fucking racism
or being a pedophile,
right. Which and the sad thing is we all know he is. There's no fucking way that man was hanging out with Epstein and not at least one time engaged in pedophilia. There's no fucking way. I don't care what anyone says.
Look through the files. Look through all the stuff that's been released.
Well, the problem is how can you? I'm not going to go by what other people say. So
there's a website. I think there's a website called, I believe it's jmail.com. It's set up just like Gmail.
Okay.
Where you can click through all the names on the side and go down through somebody. I don't know who the hell did this, but it's all they organized all the emails and you can go down through and read all the emails.
There's a YouTube channel I watch and they did that where you could type in a name and it'll show how many times their name shows up within the files that have been released. Mm-hmm. Trump was 5,000 something.
It's a lot. By the way, Obama, you know how many times he was mentioned in the
It was very small and it was all just people, they were just bitching about it.
0.
No, Biden showed up. Biden was in there a few times, 35 or 40 times. Yeah. But it was all just criticizing.
Yeah, it wasn't
Obama's not in there.
Yeah.
Obama never went to Epstein Island.
No.
Was not friends with Epstein.
No.
But Trump has 5,000 times or something.
That's a lot. A lot more than should be.
Right. And to be fair, we don't even have all of the files.
Yeah.
At all. They released 3 million pages. There's still millions of pages left. Yeah. And
lots of videos.
They're saying they're done.
And there's lots of videos also that none of them ever got released either.
No.
So.
The videos, it depends on what the videos are. Because
there are videos
there's truly bad videos. I don't want.
There's
truly releasing.
There are truly bad videos.
Yeah. Just see who's in them and arrest them.
I know. That's why I've been saying that for years. But I don't care who's on that. Arrest all of them. Lock all of them away.
Right.
I don't care who the fuck you are.
Agreed. And that's another difference between the left and the right.
I know.
The right will say, well, you don't arrest our guy because your guy's in there too.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck it, take him.
Take all of them.
Throw away the key.
I know.
Honestly, I'm starting to think Bill Clinton's not in there for anything other than just pissing people off.
Him and Hillary are testifying.
They want to testify in public.
Yeah.
And that's not a Clinton go-to.
No.
Because let's face it, they're shady people.
Oh, for sure. And they've done some shady shit.
If they can testify behind closed doors, they will do it.
And we've talked before about the Clinton kill list and all that kind of stuff.
If they're calling to do this in public, I'm almost thinking that Bill isn't as sleazy as I thought he was. At least not with underage girls.
That's possible, yeah.
You know, it could have been of age, which, you know, that's for him and his wife to decide, because that's as long as it was consensual.
As long as everything was consensual.
As long as it was consensual, which I can't imagine it. Well, I mean, you never know. I don't even want to speculate on that.
Yeah.
But Trump doesn't even want the fucking paperwork released. So what does that say?
Yeah. Well,
If the Clintons are the ones saying transparency and Trump saying, no, this is enough, then I'm sorry, you're admitting your guilt.
yeah.
You know, innocent until proven guilty, but you're giving us no reason to think that you're innocent.
Yeah.
And you're stopping us from looking at the evidence to find whether or not you're innocent or guilty. So it makes me think.
And I will say, of all the times that Bill Clinton has mentioned in there, I haven't seen anything. I've never seen any stories of him with like 13 and 14-year-old girls.
Right.
And there's multiple of them, like in detail with Donald Trump.
Right.
And the things that Donald Trump forced them to do to him.
So what was the story with that? It was never determined or explained that whether or not it was his potential child, but wasn't there something to do with a forced abortion?
So I will say that I guess let me back up real quick. So there is a lot of stuff in those files that came from testimony that was given, that came from like reports that were given to police, that there's a lot of stuff in there that was never corroborated.
Right.
There was never evidence for.
Well, it probably wasn't investigated because, well, they're rich. Why would you?
That's also very possible. So there was a report, there was testimony. I don't know if it was testimony in court or if it was just something that was told to police, but there was a girl that said that she was, I don't remember what it was, 13, 14 years old. She was paid by Trump or paid by somebody from Trump to do certain acts with Trump. She ended up getting pregnant. Never said that the child was Donald Trump's or not. And then, I don't remember if it was gave birth and then her father
killed the baby.
I don't know. He did something. He threw the baby in the lake, but
right.
Donald Trump was there.
Right. That's what I'd heard bits and pieces of. But again, it's like how can we know this?
They kind of left it. They kind of left it there. So the way I read that was the way I kind of read the part that was at least released, which I think would end up getting deleted. I don't think any of that's in the DOJ files anymore. But the part of it that I read, like, kind of left it at that. And my question was, why was Donald Trump there?
Well, my question is, why is the DOJ deleting anything?
Because it happened on a boat. Or I think it was on Donald Trump's boat.
Right.
So was it Donald Trump's child, or
was he just helping somebody out, helping a brother out?
Yeah. No. So there was a lot of questions there.
Why was it deleted? That's another thing. They shouldn't. First of all, unless it's a victim name, there should be no redactions in there.
Well.
Or anything that could lead to a victim.
You heard about the calendar girls, right? The calendar girl parties. So there was files that were released just recently in the last dump that they did. These files were removed, but the screenshots were taken because these people, these fucking idiots, whatever you put on the internet is on the internet forever. Right.
To some degree, yeah.
So people took screenshots before the DOJ deleted them. But they released paperwork, they released files for what were called calendar girl parties, I think is what they called them, where this all happened at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago house. I think it was at Trump's house, but Trump was definitely there.
Right.
Where Epstein would bring over girls, underage girls, and auction them off. And in detail, they described how they would measure the girls' body parts and things like that. And it was just really disgusting. But, it's, once again, how can you vote for this guy? How can you support this guy? Especially if you call yourself a Christian, support a president like that when there's shit like that being said.
I don't know.
But it just
you're asking the wrong person.
Oh, I know
on
that. But yeah, the DOJ went and deleted. They were on there for literally a very short period of time. Once it got out that the DOJ was a bunch of fucking idiots. Surprise, surprise. Trump put a bunch of people in charge that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Released all that stuff, didn't redact any of it.
Well, he put people in charge who were highly qualified.
Yeah.
That's why they got rid of DEI, to get the most qualified people, rather than just hiring people for their white skin, because that's exactly what they fucking did.
But they were removed from the site very quickly. Just like there was another picture of the dump before that, which showed Donald Trump surrounded by what looked like a bunch of underage girls, very young girls. It was I believe it was a wider picture of Epstein's office. It was like an open drawer, I think it was, if my memory is correct. And on the top of the drawer, there was a picture of Donald Trump with these girls. And as soon as somebody noticed it, it like went all over the internet. Screenshots of it.
Right.
That picture got taken down also.
Huh.
Yeah. But no,
but the man's got nothing to fucking hide.
Nothing to hide.
Nothing to hide. It's old news. It doesn't even need to be talked about.
It's a hoax.
He actually said
it's
that.
It's a Democrat hoax.
Well, he also said the other day, he's like, this last dump is it. I don't want to talk about it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a fucking evil piece of shit, and you're all over it.
And when the female reporter asked him about it, he told the female reporter she needed to smile more often.
Yeah, probably. He says a lot.
He did.
Well, he called that other reporter a pig.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has never shown any indication that he respects women in any way.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
You know.
Well,
beyond them being attractive.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he cheated on his current wife while she was
pregnant.
Right after she gave birth. So,
and probably while she was pregnant. Probably even after.
Yeah.
But he cheated on all of them. 3 of them. There's a reason why he's got 5 kids with 3 different women.
Yeah.
You know. He's a rapper. Anyway,
he said it himself that Jeffrey Epstein likes them young, just like him.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gross fucking people. They're gross fucking people.
I know, but I mean, it just just from a male perspective, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't.
Gross. I know that.
Even 18, 19
I know.
It just doesn't seem right to me. Unless I was 19.
At least it's legal. At least even
if I was, unless I'm 19, that 19, 20, it's too young for an old man.
At least it's legal, though. I mean, if you're
maybe
50 dating an 18-year-old, it might be gross, but it's still at least it's legal. But
it's gross.
But if you're 50 dating a 15-year-old, that's 50, beyond gross.
If you're 50, you shouldn't be dating anyone younger than 35, I think.
Well, whatever.
That's just my opinion, my personal stance.
As long as you're both consenting adults, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, but
I really don't care.
My personal stance is 50, 35.
Whatever.
Or maybe 35 is the highest it needs to go, but I don't know.
I think we're closer to a civil war than people think. Than people really.
I don't think you're probably not thinking closer than I think.
No,
I'm thinking we're literally like this year.
So I will say that I was just talking to somebody just recently about this, and I was like, I've always been one of those people that are like, no, that's not going to happen.
You say that a lot about a lot of things, by the way.
I think
that have happened.
Not really, but I think this is something that could possibly happen. Like,
I don't think it's possible.
I'm not sure.
It's going to happen.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think it's actually going to happen. But
I do.
Is it possible? Yes.
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen this year. I think to what extent it goes, I don't know. But there's going to be a massive amount of fighting. And it's going to get bloody.
I think the only way it actually happens is if it actually starts between ICE and CBP and the police. That's actually what I see it possibly starting as. Just like immigration against like individuals. There's not enough individual people that I see like rising up enough to create enough violence to turn like widespread. Like there'll be like small I think small instances of it happening, but nothing like widespread. I can see it getting to the point where like states turn the police on ICE and on CBP.
Well, Minnesota brought in their National Guard. That's what I was thinking. It's going to be between the National Guard and ICE and, Trump's forces. Because he really is kind of turning ICE into his own personal army.
Well, yeah. Well, what was it? Just 5 or 6 years ago, their budget was $5 billion, and now it's $85 billion.
Yeah. I know it's more than some of the other branches of the military.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy, considering World War III is just as likely to fucking happen.
I know.
This year as any other year.
I know.
More so than any other year.
But the reason I said police is because there was a lady who is an ICE observer who was arrested. Well, she wasn't arrested. She was detained by ICE in Minnesota. She was just driving down the road following ICE, which is completely fucking legal to do.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're not interfering with them, you're not obstructing them in any way. She was literally just following behind them. And then 3 vehicles started chasing her. And they blocked her off. And she recorded the whole damn thing. They all jumped out, guns drawn, yanked her out of the car. And as they're yanking her out of the car, whatever she was on, I don't know if she had like in-car GPS, like in-car, I don't know if it's OnStar or whatever it is anymore, but she had it call 911, or had whoever she was talking to had them call 911. And whoever town she was in, the chief of police caught up to ICE and pulled them over and was able to get her out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
And was able to take her home. So that's why I said, like, I can see like something happening between police and ICE.
So do you think that starts when other police officers start jumping in to defend the citizens against ICE and they get shot?
Because ICE has been pulling over and detaining police officers also.
Oh, really?
There's been multiple police officers in Minnesota that were detained temporarily. They were all released by ICE. Yeah.
I don't know. But that's my point. It's like, where are the "Don't Tread on Me" people? Where are the Second Amendment people? Several members of the administration have said that you shouldn't be allowed to carry guns everywhere you want. What?
I should have saved the picture, but I love it. I've seen it posted multiple times, but it's the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, but it has the red hat on, and it's got like a chain around its neck with a chain coming off of it, and it says "Tread on me, Daddy."
Yeah, I mean
that's exactly
what it is. It's
you
and not anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to follow any laws, even the rational ones, but it's okay if this guy just stomps all over my rights.
Yes.
Because that's what it is.
That's exactly what
Don't tread on me it's not about freedom. It's about I don't want to fucking pay taxes and I don't want to be told what to do with anything I want to do. That's it. Which, society doesn't fucking work that way.
No, it's I don't want to be told what to do by that side.
Right.
It's fine if my side tells me what to do.
That was a bit more opaque back in the day. Because it was about rights, my guns and my voice.
Oh, they don't care about states' rights anymore.
Well, I'm talking about their own individual rights. I'm talking about the amendment, Second Amendment kind of stuff.
They don't care about that anymore. Though.
No, I know. Obviously, if he's going to try to nationalize voting, they don't care about states' rights.
Yeah.
Or telling states that he's going to send troops in. There's no states' rights there.
Yeah.
And again, these are the same people who said, "Oh, the state should decide everything."
It's in the Constitution.
I know. The government shouldn't tell us what to do about anything. Leave it to the states. But that only applies to gay marriage, abortion.
No, that all comes from because they want to own black people.
Well, right.
That's what it all came
Nick,
from.
all of this comes from that.
I know.
We're still fighting the first Civil War, to be completely honest with you. We're just doing it in a much more civil way.
That's why
it makes sense.
Honestly, what they should have done at the end of the Civil War is round all them fucking people up, line them all up in a fucking row, and put a fucking bullet in the back of all their fucking heads.
Yeah,
that's what they fucking should have done.
I don't believe in that, but I mean, they should have been arrested.
Ian, seriously, they should have said
from ever holding.
They should have said, "I'm sorry, it was treason. The crime for treason is death. I'm sorry." I'm not talking about the people that fought in the Civil War. I'm talking about all the generals, the leaders, anyone that ran the Confederacy. Line them all up in a row and just end all of them. That's what should have happened at the end of the Civil War. And honestly,
what did we do? We told them, it's okay. You can run for office. You can, anything you want to do, but make sure Buchanan is president.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was really about, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But, as a result, then they got all of the educated slaves who were now in positions of power out, segregation, the Klan, all that fun stuff,
Yeah.
All because they had to get the presidency.
Yep. No, that's what I said, man. We didn't punish the people the first time around, and guess what? We didn't fucking punish them the second time around either.
No.
After January 6th.
No, God, no. And how many of those guys have been arrested for child pornography and all that?
And they're all on fucking ICE. That's the other thing, man.
And
it's
then
like
they're joining ICE, yeah.
And somebody a couple weeks ago was like, I think I saw it on Instagram. They were like, when all these protests popped up in Minnesota. Someone was like, hey, you know what? You don't see the Proud Boys and things like that doing anti-protests.
No, because they're in ICE.
Because they're all in fucking ICE. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, Trump did at least publicly distance himself from the Proud Boys. He goes, we don't need them. He said. That's what he said.
He doesn't need them because they're already there.
I know.
He already has them.
Yeah. I know where they're all at. I see it every day on TV. It's they're
if this country
there.
is around in 100 years, which I'm not sure it's gonna be here in fucking 5 years, let alone 100 years. This is going to be looked back on as one of the worst periods in American history.
Oh, I'm sure. It won't be. I think you're even being optimistic by saying 5 years, honestly.
And if it's here in 10 years, 15, 20 years, it's just going to be like...
Well, we'll still be cleaning up the mess.
It'll just be like it was in the 60s, 50s and 60s, where everyone said, oh, yeah, we never supported Hitler. It'd be the same thing. 20 years from now, no one in the United States will say that they supported Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Nobody in this country.
Fucking win?
Nobody in this country will ever admit that they voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
They never will. Even this fucking shit stain of a town I live in that 2 years ago was half covered in fucking Trump shit.
Well, I know.
I don't fucking see it. I don't see any of it anymore.
But
I mean, I still see some of it, but not nearly as much as what I used to.
There's a guy in my neighborhood who's got his car on the side of his car says "I love Trump." I'm like, get a room.
Yeah, it might. I mean, it might as well just say "I love pedophiles."
Yeah, but he hasn't changed. It's just a sticker, like or a magnet. He can take it off anytime he wants.
Yeah.
So that just tells you that he's still supporting.
But yeah. It's just gonna be interesting to watch. Depending on what the turn of this country does the next several years.
Well, like I said, I think you're being optimistic that the country will still exist in 5 years.
Well, that's what I said. A big if.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be here in 2 years.
Like I said, I think the Civil War or World War III is likely to start this year. Because we've never been closer. We've never been as close.
We've been closer to World War III.
Closer than we are now.
Yes.
With all the rhetoric coming out of Russia and Iran and everything else. When was that?
Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, we were literally fucking...
okay.
We were literally
Fair
like
enough.
15 fucking minutes from being bombed
Fair
by
enough.
Russia. Like,
That was one instance. This is like months.
Yes, I get that, Ian, but we have been closer to World War III. Like,
and only by a hair.
yeah, but...
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, I mean, the missiles were going to go off in
They were imminent.
They were imminent. They're imminent now. I just don't think we've got time. We could stop it. I just don't. And then there's not going to be missiles. There will be an actual war before the nukes go flying.
Yeah.
But half of us will all be dead anyway. Because, like I said, it's not like World War II, World War I and II, where we had to go over there to fight. Because the fighting is going to start here, too. And honestly, I think that would a civil war here would precipitate or increase the odds of World War III, because other countries will see that our attention is taken. Do you think Russia?
They already fucking see that. That's already the case.
True, but our military's still out there. If they have to start bringing our military back to fight a civil war here, do you think Putin's going to be like, I was going to take Poland, but I'm not going to now. If you get us out of there, He's going after Poland. He's going after Turkey.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to wipe the floor with.
That's been his goal
Ukraine.
all along.
I know, but right now there's still there's guardrails right now to some degree. There won't be if a civil war starts here.
No.
Is my point.
Oh no, it's going to be it'd be interesting.
Nothing like a lighthearted show to lift your spirits.
Hey, we're back. We haven't done this in a while. There's been a lot. There's a lot of shit that's happened in the last fucking month and a half.
And I don't want to leave the show, just in case. I want to leave the show without saying fuck ICE. That's all.
Absolutely.
We'd rather say fuck ICE.
And that's, hey, you know what? I've been saying fuck ICE for. I had to fucking I used to work in immigration, and I used to deal with them sons of bitches every fucking month.
And those were the ones who were like,
and those
legit.
were the fucking good ones back in the.
That's
fucking
what I'm saying.
day.
They were the legitimate ICE agents,
and they were still fucking jackasses.
Yeah.
So I didn't fucking like them back then.
Now they're undertrained, overly gun happy, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, man. It's just it's been really interesting to see the kind of turn publicly. Like the Renee Good shooting, which was the first person. If you're watching this and you're not sure who was who, that was the first shooting that happened. There was at least,
it wasn't. There's so many brown people who've been killed.
That was the first like major one that was like all over the news though.
It was the first one where it was a white person.
But that was the first one that was like all over the news and got a lot of attention. But there was enough there in the footage that made enough people go, maybe she was doing something that she wasn't supposed to be doing, right? Even though I don't think that's the case. There was nothing there. She was not doing anything that should have caused her to get shot in the face.
There was nothing there to cause the officer to tell her to get out of her fucking car.
Yes. So
much less shoot her in the face.
But like there was enough in that video that made enough people question whether or not she was doing something that she shouldn't have been doing. The Alex Preddy shooting, though, that was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Like, that was
personally, I feel that the Renee Good one was cut and dry as well.
But I think so too. But the Alex Preddy shooting, like, there was nothing there. Like he was just
trying to help that.
He was just trying to help some lady that got shoved down by an ICE officer,
right?
And got
which
attacked.
is what he does.
Got
He's a fucking nurse.
I know. Got his pistol removed by an ICE officer,
and then got shot. Yeah. It's funny that he got shot after the gun was taken.
I know that.
They're not supposed to do that. I thought.
I know.
Only clear and present danger. If you take a gun away, there's no danger.
No.
Especially if you got 6 other people who still have their guns.
Yeah, I know. But I think that so far has been the big turning point, though, because I think that's when I really noticed, at least online and in social media, that's why I really noticed a shift against all this.
But and it's fine. I want the shift to happen, but it's a shame that it's been happening. I mean, systemically, it's been happening for the entire history of this country.
Oh yeah,
but where the police have overextended their authority and shot people who didn't deserve to be shot or beat people that didn't deserve to be beat.
Yeah.
But they're all been minorities. It's a shame that it's taken 2 white people for that to happen to, for everyone to go, oh my goodness, this is bad. That's what bothers me. It's because you're right. Everything's shifting now, but it should have been shifting before because nothing's different now. It's just different because now 2 obvious white people were killed.
Well, it should have shifted 8 years ago when Philando Castile got pulled over by the cops and was just trying to pull his ID out.
And he got shot.
Or
was it Trayvon Martin?
Yeah.
Who was just walking and got shot in the back?
Well, he got chased down by somebody else that didn't think he belonged in his neighborhood and was just trying to
all the same.
And he was Trayvon was just trying to defend himself and
But he didn't have a gun.
I know that. I know. But still, after Alex Preddy's murder,
it is murder. Both of them were murder.
Both of them were. But after Alex Preddy's murder is when I noticed more of a shift against. But like I said, it's a long time till November.
It is.
Is any of this going to matter come November? We're going to see. Because right now it's counting right now. You're seeing it in elections that are happening right now.
Right.
You're seeing this stuff hurt Republicans in elections. But I'm not sure if their staying power enough to impact.
I don't want to give anyone ideas, but logically speaking, you would think, oh, well, this is if doing this now is affecting minor elections now, we don't want this happening in November, so let's pull everybody back. Let's pull it back.
Yeah.
And see what happens. We'll just pull it back. And then after the elections, especially if it goes their way, they just let them all back out.
I don't think it's going to go their way.
I mean, that's what everyone's saying, but as you pointed out earlier about polls, what does that mean?
Trump's not running, so polls will probably be pretty close.
Accurate. Well, he shouldn't be running in 28.
Yeah.
He will. I have a feeling
he's not going to run. Trump's not going to be alive in 2020. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if he's still alive and stay at the same level,
I'm not sure if he's going to be around the end of this year the way he's looked lately.
Yeah, I know. He's
the way he's looked, the way he's sounded.
Shooting himself in the office again. I know he's done it before, but he's never done it while the cameras are on him, at least that I know of.
Yeah.
So, and unless that was a fake video, I don't know. It looked pretty real to me.
Oh no,
because he was signing something, and then he was talking, and he stopped talking for a minute, and then everyone just goes, like, they could smell it. And I imagine his poop smells because he's an old man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Old man poop's probably really bad.
The video I saw wasn't that dramatic, but...
Well, no, but people were, like, excusing themselves as politely as they possibly could.
And they kind of rushed the cameras out.
Yeah. And the blonde who was behind him was just like, doing one of these. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. If he was a good person who was doing good for the country, he could shit himself all fucking day. I don't care. But he's not. He's a piece of shit, and it's just,
horrible person.
And a horrible, he's an authoritarian. He's, anti-freedom, and and he's a fucking crook. He's stealing from us.
Yeah.
And he's basically showing us every fucking day that he's stealing from us.
Absolutely. But like I said, he's going to go down as being, one of the biggest mistakes in American history, if anyone's around to remember American history. So,
right. Well, there could be some. If there's a civil war, his side could fucking win.
We'll see.
They do have more, more advantage to win.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then this could be, what the United States would look like had the Confederacy won.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months. We'll see what happens. I will say that I think the midterm election, I feel like a lot of people out there will probably say, well, you say this every single election, but I think this coming election, I think, is the most consequential election, the most important election in American history.
If we can get some opposition in there, and I say that because it's, the Democratic Party is in the shitter. I'm sorry, it's in the shitter. It's tough, but if we can get some opposition in there to at least slow down the criminal activity, then we might be all right.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to slow it down a lot. But like I said, I don't have any I don't see anything going on in the Democratic Party that fills me with any hope for that party.
We'll see come November. We'll see come November.
Yeah, but all the local stuff, that's even more slightly, in my opinion, slightly more important. But going forward, we need, if you're a Democrat, we need to have Democrats. The Democrats have to take control of everything for there to really be any chance of us succeeding.
And then it all starts November.
And right, if we get the House and the Senate, okay. But I'm not optimistic about any of our chances for getting the presidency again, because we don't have anybody. I don't care who it is. Everyone's coming with a lot of fucking baggage, and the one thing that Democrats don't know how to do is handle their fucking... Ian. It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, because I'll tell you, a lot of people who would have voted for Kamala didn't because of the fucking Israel baggage that was going on.
Going back to the very beginning, though.
I know you said it was stolen.
I think there's enough. There is some evidence
there
that
a lot of people who.
I think Kamala Harris won that fucking election. First off, but
a lot of people either didn't vote for her or didn't show up because of her connection to Israel, with all that was going on with Israel. And to be fair, I understand that point of view, but you can't.
Kamala Harris
Democrats
Kamala
are
Harris
very
didn't win
myopic.
that election because she's a woman. End of story. Has nothing to do with anything
she had a lot to do
Israel.
with it, you're right.
Didn't have anything to do with Israel. Anything to do with anything else.
Well, Israel was the excuse.
All that
My
did
point
was
is-
give people cover not to vote for her. That's
Correct.
end of day.
Either
That's
way,
it.
either
I am
way.
sorry. That's it.
But Democrats
Michelle Obama said that already. Like,
still do not know how to handle their baggage. They don't.
baggage doesn't fucking matter.
It does.
Donald Trump was raping children and won the fucking presidency.
Baggage doesn't work on Republicans. It doesn't affect Republicans. It affects Democrats because a Democrat will shoot themselves in the foot and get rid of fucking Al Franken out of the Senate.
Which they shouldn't
because
have
he
fucking
took
done.
A picture.
Which
that
they shouldn't have fucking done.
What they shouldn't have fucking done. They dump him real fast because they don't know how to handle their baggage. They can't say it's a look.
That's
this is what it
that's
is.
not handling their baggage. That's stop being a fucking pussy.
That's-
The party needs to
that's
stop
part of their
being fucking
baggage.
pussies. That's
People
what
have
it
been calling
is.
Democrats that for decades.
I know that.
So it's that
But
baggage
I
that
think
they
I
don't know how to
think
handle.
I think that's already changed though. I think you're already seeing that change since Trump took
Not
office at
enough.
the beginning of this year. But
Not
you're
enough.
already seeing that though. And I think that's the big key is let's see what happens come November. Let's see how because that's the big thing
Yeah,
is
you-
after this election, let's see how the Democrats, if they win the House, if they win the Senate, let's see how they do taking charge and taking it to Donald Trump after that.
We'll see. But let me tell you this. You pointed out how Alex Petty was the turning point you saw. Politicians came out and the Democrats were forceful. They said, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what Hakeem Jeffries did was too much because he was probably not
Fucking
enough.
can't stand him.
I can't fucking stand him either. But he can come out and call Donald Trump a fucking piece of garbage on a TikTok when he posts a racist picture. But he didn't do that when Alex Petty
No.
got shot. And none of them fucking did.
No.
None of them have any spine. You say they're acting, they're not. And I feel like
No,
there's so much more they could be doing.
and that's what I'm saying is one
Even
thing
without the power
when-
they did.
I think if the Democrats win the House and win the Senate in November, there will be new leadership in both.
I hope so. Fucking, what's his name needs to go?
Schumer needs to go.
Schumer, yeah. Schumer needs to go.
Yes.
Pelosi should have gone 30 fucking years
She
ago.
is. She's gone.
I know she's gone, but she should have gone 30 fucking years ago. And she still has way too much power in the Democratic Party than she should.
Yeah.
Honestly, as much as I want to get heavily progressive candidates in there, AOC is not a good candidate. She's not now. She may be down the road, but she's not mature enough.
We're gonna see.
We're gonna see. If they run her, they're gonna fucking lose.
We're gonna see.
They're gonna lose.
We're gonna see.
Because you pointed out how Kamala couldn't win. Kamala is as white bread as
Oh,
they
as
come.
president?
Yes.
Oh no, she's not gonna run for president.
I've heard talk.
She's not gonna run for president. She's not gonna run for president. I
She
think
needs to just stay in Congress or
think-
whatever, Senate, whatever she is.
Yeah. I think she's gonna run for Senate.
Okay, fine. She's not in Michigan. She's not. It has nothing to do with me. But don't put her on a heavy ticket, and on a national ticket. Please don't. I'm almost feeling the same way with Gavin Newsom. I don't think he's going to go far enough. He's already proven that he's willing to bend on trans rights, or at least on the rhetoric. He's proven that he's willing to do that. And to some, that makes him more centrist. I know it can win, but if he's willing to bend on that, it just proves my point about Democrats in general. It
Just
really
wait.
does.
Let's get through November 1st, and then we'll fucking move on and see what happens after that. Because that's going to be the big turn.
I honestly
Because here's
don't-
the thing: if they don't win in November,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
It's over.
Game over.
I think they'll win. I just don't think they're going to win enough to take complete control. That's the problem. You're going to be talking, shifting it just enough so that they're on the surface in control, but not enough to actually make
see.
any fucking difference.
Let's see what happens. Let's fucking win.
Because
First.
we're talking majority. They need to get majorities in the House and the Senate.
Let's.
And I don't think they're going to get it. And we're talking 60 vote majority in the Senate minimum.
Oh, it's not going to happen. But
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
what happened in the Senate is they'll take over. They'll get rid of the filibuster. But I think it's going to be a whole different topic. We'll see. Like I said, let's see what happens after that. after the election.
But see, getting rid of the filibuster, what does that do? It's a great idea, and it's not very democratic anyway, so it kind of makes sense. What happens when the Republicans take the Senate again? It's going to be back and forth.
They're already bypassing it anyway, so get rid of it.
Yeah, we need to stack the Supreme Court too. We really do. We need
to do that.
We need to
and if you want to do that, Ian, you got to get rid of the filibuster. So
true.
That's why I said, man, let's just.
But we can't stack the Supreme Court until after Trump's out of office.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. I guess let's kind of end it there. We will have a much brighter topic on the next episode of Life in General. I promise. Right, Ian?
Well, are we talking the best or the worst? I don't want to give it away, but
we will have a brighter topic.
I don't remember.
Episode. But
okay.
If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give us the old thumbs up and all that YouTube-y kind of stuff. Yep. Should be available on all the podcast apps and all that fun stuff.
Should be.
I don't know. You want anything else to add?
Fuck ice.
I'll give you the last word.
Fuck ice.
Fuck ice. That's a great finish there. But I don't know. I guess until next time.
Talk to y'all later.
Peace.